Young Jump magazine recently interviewed the Kingdom Hearts director Tetsuya Nomura. This is the first time in a while the series director has opened up about Kingdom Hearts, as many fans are anticipating the upcoming release of Kingdom Hearts 4 and mobile title Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. This interview has been trending online due to talks about the director's retirement and insights shared about the director's mindset going into upcoming titles. In this video, we'll be covering the interview in its entirety while sharing additional context and supporting information to help you better understand some things that are said. Thank you to the team over at Cage13 for sharing and translating this interview. These first sets of questions discuss how voice actors, staff members, and himself keep up with the complex story and settings of Kingdom Hearts. Many of your works have complex settings, but how do you manage to bring them all together for when you have to record the voice lines? Honestly, I don't think they understand everything either on the day of recording. When the staff other than myself explain the settings and characters to the voice actors during recording, they sometimes ask me to confirm if it's okay to do it like that. And there are times when I have to say, no, it's not okay. But there's no way around it, because I'm the only one who understands the parts of the characters that haven't been drawn. So I'm the only one who can think about the complex story and all the different directions it could go. On the other hand, I also actively encourage the staff to question and point things out to me. Is there something like a setting reference book? I have some things that I personally write down to remember, including periods that are not depicted. I write down the footsteps of important people and future developments. So you don't share that information. Of course not, I keep that to myself. However, I do make sure that the staff know what they need to know by writing setting explanations all at once in the middle of the scenario. The director seems to keep some info regarding the story and setting close to the chest. I'd assume this is likely due to the risk of leaks, which is a very common occurrence in gaming culture nowadays. He'll elaborate on this in the next question. In the Kingdom Hearts series, there are many foreshadowing elements that span the series. So how do you keep track of those? As I've mentioned previously, I write a lot in my notes, but I also make sure the staff remember, and I like watching videos, so I watch playthrough videos and reviews on YouTube. Basically, rather than looking back at my notes, I make sure the staff remembers what happened in past titles. So Nomura says he likes videos of people's playthroughs and reviews of Kingdom Hearts on YouTube, which I'm assuming is a refreshing way for him to reacquaint himself with details about the series. Social media took this comment a little differently, and took this as Nomura watches YouTube videos to remember the story he's written, which is a negative oversimplification of what I think is being expressed here. I don't think he's necessarily saying he doesn't remember his own story, which I'm sure he has to refresh himself on details. Kingdom Hearts fans and creators have to do that as well. There's over a dozen different canon games, all having details fans enjoy consuming as part of a greater story. Kingdom Hearts has been going on for 22 years, and through that 22 years, the director has also worked on many other big projects he's assisted with for the story as well. Kingdom Hearts has a lot of moving parts, so I don't think this should be as surprising as some on social media make it out to be. Though I do wonder whose Kingdom Hearts playthroughs he's watching. Speaking about the story, the next question is a really good one, about mobile titles and their effect on the Kingdom Hearts story. As we dive into that, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell so you never miss another Kingdom Hearts video again. This year, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link is also scheduled for release on mobile devices. Do you have any concerns that by developing important stories for apps and portable game consoles, you will end up with more players who can't keep up with the story? Honestly, I do. That's why we're developing a story that takes place in a time frame that's much earlier than the Kingdom Hearts timeline on consoles. However, as people say, the newly announced Kingdom Hearts 4 is really more like Kingdom Hearts 13, as there are natural connections even with non-numbered titles, and I think that will allow people to enjoy the series even more deeply. However, this time, both Kingdom Hearts Missing Link and Kingdom Hearts 4 have been created with a stronger focus on being new titles rather than sequels. For example, as a new experiment, we have had staff who have not been involved in the Kingdom Hearts series before participate in writing the scenario. Of course, I'll be editing it in the end, but I don't think it will be positioned as a work that needs to be done in the sense that the writer who has never been involved in the Kingdom Hearts series is creating a new base. After all, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link is better described as a blank history, so it is also based on the premise that there are things missing. If you know about it, you can enjoy it more deeply. Even Nomura seems to be well aware of the barriers surrounding Kingdom Hearts with the canon mobile titles. With Kingdom Hearts 4, we already have mobile title characters appearing in the game, like Strelitzia from Union Cross, and Sigurd being the opening voice you hear in the trailer. The focus on new players isn't anything particularly new with Kingdom Hearts, as previous Kingdom Hearts games, despite their connections, are always made with new players in mind. However, this time around, with there being an entire new arc, they likely want new players to have an even easier time getting into the series than before. Previous comments from Nomura that support this mentality are the Game Informer interview from 2022, shortly after KH4's reveal trailer, where the director gets asked about appearances from characters in games like Birth by Sleep or Kingdom Hearts Days in the upcoming title. The response showed hesitation to include them in Kingdom Hearts 4's story, and talks about how Kingdom Hearts 4 is a lot more focused on Sora's disappearance. This thought process is likely because Nomura wants it to be easier for newcomers, because introducing a bunch of characters that have a lot of backstory to a new player getting into Kingdom Hearts 4 might be rough. Nomura said him and the team are aware of their popularity though, so we'll see what ends up happening. However, regarding the new writers for Kingdom Hearts 4 the director mentions, we know from previous interviews that they are Akiko Ishibashi and Masaru Oka. Masaru Oka has actually been a scenario writer for Kingdom Hearts games like 2.8, Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, and has worked on games like Final Fantasy 13 and Final Fantasy Crisis Core. Ishibashi, however, doesn't have nearly as much experience with Kingdom Hearts and is more so credited being a scenario writer for games like Final Fantasy 13, The War Ends With You, Dissidia 012, Final Fantasy 15, and Neo The War Ends With You. Based on the games they've worked with and the themes going into Kingdom Hearts 4, I'm positive their scenario and writing style will be felt in the upcoming game, with Shibuya being a city to explore, as well as Final Fantasy 15 and Versus 13 concepts being reimagined for the game. That was a lot to cover for one question, but it was a long response. Remember to leave a like if you're enjoying the video. Next question, we'll talk more about the director's mindset when it comes to new players joining the franchise for Kingdom Hearts 4. Just as it is difficult to catch up with a long-running manga series from the very first title, the Kingdom Hearts series has so many titles that it seems to have the same problem. What are your thoughts in regards to new fans that might try playing these series? That's what I'd like to know. As I mentioned earlier, I'm thinking of Missing Link in Kingdom Hearts 4 as kind of a reset. I felt like I'd finished with Kingdom Hearts 3 and wanted to start again, so I've brought in new writers and even changed the logo to make it easier for new people to get involved. Ah, so that's what the change of logo was about. If you remember how the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3 goes, you'll understand that Sora ends up like that because he's resetting the story in a way, so Kingdom Hearts 4 should be easier to get into than before. I think that if you like the series, you'll feel like this is it, but I'm also hoping that as many new players as possible will play it. The focus on new players with Kingdom Hearts 4 is very apparent, but I don't believe the director wants to leave out fans who have been enjoying Kingdom Hearts' deep lore over the past 22 years. This story is going to be a new story with ties to the previous. The "this is it" comment from Nomura, I believe, is foreshadowing the eventual end of the Kingdom Hearts story under his direction, as he does also bring up in the next set of questions. At the beginning of Kingdom Hearts, there is a monologue that goes,
"I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real? Or not?"
What does that mean? The name Quadratum didn't exist at the time, but the idea was there. It was a long preparation for the day I would reach this point. So it was actually a foreshadowing that took 20 years? Then do you see a future where the Kingdom Hearts series will be completed? If this isn't a dream, then I only have a few years left until I retire. And it's looking like, will I retire or will I finish the series first? However, I'm making Kingdom Hearts 4 with the intention of it being a story that leads to the conclusion. That last question was the biggest thing to come out of this interview. Nomura mentioning his eventual retirement at Square Enix. But before we talk a little bit more about that, let's discuss what else was talked about here. Nomura mentions how the idea for Quadratum has been there since Kingdom Hearts 1, and that this day was coming eventually. To support this comment, back in the old Kingdom Hearts 1 interviews, specifically those in a book called the Kingdom Hearts Ultimania, Nomura shares a secret about the game in 2002. This secret was that the words that appear in the opening were actually words that an actual character was going to say in the ending. Please enjoy speculating on who was supposed to speak those lines. At the time, the concept for Yozora or Quadratum was not there, but this is proof that there was always a deeper meaning behind the quote. We just wouldn't know it would be revealed to us for nearly 20 years. I think this is really cool. Now, for the elephant in the room, we've been talking about it a lot lately. You've seen the headlines. Nomura is thinking about retirement. even acknowledging a possibility where the series finishes without him, which has brought on a lot of support from Kingdom Hearts fans saying thank you to Nomura for always done, not just for Kingdom Hearts, but gaming and JRPGs as a whole. Kingdom Hearts 4 is a story made with the conclusion of Kingdom Hearts in mind. This is the beginning of the end for Kingdom Hearts, at least as we know it, with Nomura at the head of the series. It's bittersweet to hear about, but I want to say, and I'm sure I'll say this many more times as we head closer to this point, thank you for everything you've done. Seriously. Kingdom Hearts has impacted me in a way that I can't even describe to others. I've made thousands of videos on this game and still feel like I have more love to express for this series. These fans, these messages, and the games, they've all done so much for me since I was a little kid playing Kingdom Hearts 1 on the PS2. It's allowed me to meet new friends, have a small career out of a passion for something I love. It's done everything. I love this series, and even though it ending is a hard reality to grasp, I can't wait to see the conclusion of this story because I will be there. Even though it's not time yet, thank you for everything. My name is Prodigy, and remember to be nice, be safe, and take care, everyone.